Those cars are coming up and down the Journeyman Highway day or night, so I might as well take advantage and try to hitchhike and try to reach you wherever you are in this great world of ours. So be careful, you little marks. You've been wanting it, and now you're gonna get it. So after I talk your ears off for a little bit, I'm gonna take what I want, and I want the gold, sucker! Hulk Hogan! I'm coming for you, Nick! No. Whoa. I'm sorry. I got a little crazy. It's calling all marks.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, before you, we have the greatest
show
of all time. We have a man that in his own modest way can tell you...
I don't like it. I'm just telling you the truth.
You like it?
No! Listen to my fucking ranting. Listen to what you do to me. I don't believe you anymore.
Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in.
Hosted by
This guy that ran with every woman that would have him from the time he was 15. You like it?
Yeah.
You want one?
90,000 people watching. In my moment of glory. Yeah, no, I'm living a nightmare.
I don't trust you. The fuck up. You make me want to smoke. You fucked my damn...
Justin Draven.
Wow, Mr. Sarcasm.
I'm going to start off today with a nice, hearty, healthy, happy helping of How Do You Do. Welcome to Calling All Marks, where I just chat your ear off for a little bit of the topic of the day in my life and maybe the wrestling world. So, I want to get into a couple things. Like I said in a previous video, I know I'm not being watched by a lot of people, but I might be being watched by the right people because the shit that I talk about, and I don't go into detail with everything because, like I said, I just spout off and I just go and go and go and go. The stuff that I talk about, a lot of people are actually making videos and going into detail about that stuff. I was talking about how I was starting to feel kind of slighted by Cody Rhodes because I feel as if he might have been a snake oil salesman with the Young Bucks, and he might have worked his way into that whole camp and just to go Hollywood. Because if you notice, he's not on being the elite very often anymore. I haven't seen him. He's off doing his own thing. The Bucks, I'll give them credit. They've been at least trying to do something. They've been at least working with the other talent. Cody's just been putting himself over and being on TV to make himself look like a star. I believe I heard that on Keeping It 100 today, actually, while I was working. And I was talking about that a few days ago. So I just find it funny that they're talking about that. And I also found it funny that somebody was saying almost the exact same thing I was saying about Uncle Dave. Dave Meltzer. Saying almost the exact same thing. I was thinking about doing a review of him to really get into depth of what I kind of don't like about him. I don't say that I hate him. I don't hate him personally. I used to like him. I used to be a fan of his work. But I think people hold him up too much on a pedestal. I don't think he's contributed enough to the business to really give out ratings like that. And honestly, if you think about it, look at all this backyard shit and all the extreme shit. They're doing it to get a 5-star rating. So he's kind of hurting the business by making these people take unnecessary risks just to get a high rating. And he's been showing an awful lot of bias to AEW, and I think I figured it out that nobody else has actually talked about. They're the only ones that are letting him in. WWE wrote him off years ago. Go back, watch it. It's on YouTube. Go to the Donahue video where they're talking about the sexual abuse allegations with the Ring Boys. Dave Meltzer's there trying to defend Vince McMahon, but he's still trying to take a little jab at him, but you can tell he's still trying to defend him like, oh, hey, Vince, hey, let me in, buddy. Vince is just sitting there like, oh, get away from me, pal. He's sitting there with his suit that's 3 sizes too big and his mullet and his shoulder pads. And I think he might have heard a couple of my other videos because I saw an interview with him also yesterday or the day before or something like that, and he's looking mighty grumpy nowadays. Maybe it's because somebody told him he's pretty much irrelevant. And the only reason he's showing bias to AEW is because, well, they pay attention to him. They're trying to impress him. They're catering to him. Obviously, it's evident. It's proof. Look at the shit that he's given Tony Khan, Booker of the Year. If they would have kept up with the consistency that they did when they were just pay-per-views before they were doing weekly television, I would have possibly agreed and said Tony Khan would be the Booker of the Year. But with the shit they're putting out on a weekly basis, there's no way that he's Booker of the Year. You need to get a committee. You need to get... You're hiring all these people, former people from the WWE. Why don't you hire the people that left when they went in the direction they did with the network? The man and woman presidents of what the social... I don't know what they were the presidents of, but they left. The guy was like Vince's right-hand man. Hire him. Let him do all that stuff. Worry about all the outside stuff. Then you can focus on the wrestling. Because, dude, you're running a soccer league, a football league. You're doing wrestling now. Now you're trying to fucking work with Impact and NWA and stuff, doing promos with them. So you got... It's too much. Oversaturation. Focus on your product. Cody already alienated the rest of the freaking elite, if you can call them the elite anymore. Especially if shit really hits the fan, who's going to keep the elite? Because I'm pretty sure Tony Khan's got that now. They shot themselves in the foot. Cody's out here doing reality shows, game shows, all trying to look like a Hollywood celebrity. Dude, you became friends with Stephen Amell and suckered your way into a few episodes of Arrow. Like, again, I respect it. Get your money, do whatever you got to do, and I've said it before. But don't put yourself above the business if you're still trying to be an active competitor and an active part of the company and business. That's what you're doing. You're making yourself look bigger than the business. That's not right. The Young Bucks, like I said, they're at least trying. Kenny's trying. I actually like what Kenny's doing right now. Excuse me. How he told the Young Bucks he chose them. He didn't choose AEW. He chose them. And they didn't choose him back. And that's why he turned heel. I like that. That makes sense. That's good storytelling. I actually like that. Now, Jim Cornette and Brian Last might disagree. I'm not a ginormous fan of Kenny Omega, but I'm a fan of his work. I think he is actually a pretty good in-ring competitor. And his stuff in Japan, a lot of it was amazing. I mean... Alright, yeah, he wrestled a blow-up doll and a child, but guess what? I'm assuming Booker made him do it. I don't think that he had free reign in New Japan to just start, hey, I'm going to wrestle a blow-up doll. No, the fucking promoter told him to do it. So you should probably give him a little slack. Yeah, alright, he wrestled an 11-year-old girl. I think it was like a friend of the promoter's kid's birthday, and they probably paid him to do it. So, I mean, you can't really hate him for that. I don't like his promos, and he does do, the weird facial expressions, and I hear Jim Cornette talk about it once, and I saw the sissy boy slap fight or whatever, and that's a little questionable. But other than that, Kenny Omega's a pretty solid competitor. He's a pretty good wrestler. I don't know why he gets all the hate, and the stuff he's doing right now with Don Callis. The only thing, are they supposed to be like lovers? Because I remember when they did a segment and they went into their house and they had the picture of them shirtless, looking all extra buff together, and like Callis is extra possessive, and which it is what it is if they're lovers or whatever. But just make it clear if that's what you're doing, because if not, it just comes off as a little fucking creepy. It's a little weird. But I like what Kenny's doing. He's doing some pretty good stuff. He is. I think he might be doing the best stuff of his career, story-wise. Match-wise, that's yet to be determined. We all know what happened with the exploding barbed wire death match. It wasn't exactly 5 stars! There you go, Uncle Dave. I like that. Now, I come to you in high spirits to show you I can do it too. If that's what you like, that's what I'll keep doing. But you're going to have to understand... those videos probably aren't going to come as often, because I have the entire Batcave to myself today. Yes, I do. So I took advantage and I hopped on, and I'm like, I'm going to spoil these guys before I actually have to head back to the real world in a few days. I'm going to hit these guys up with another little chat. I'm bored. Let's see if they're bored like I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm as bored as that 2x4 that was left under the wall when the Shockmaster tried to come through. That's how bored I am. I'm hoping somebody just breaks through. Breaks the wall down so we can have some conversation. I'm trying to have conversations with you guys, but it's kind of a one-sided conversation right now. And if that's what you like I said, I'll talk your ear off all day. It don't matter to me. I love doing it. I'll tell you more about why I'm really... like I said, I don't hate him personally, but I'll tell you more why I don't think Dave Meltzer is going to be in a power position for very long. I'll tell you why... I don't know, AEW might be done after their contract. And I said that as well on a previous video, and Jim Cornette and Brian Last got into it. And I think I got into that one on my second video a week ago, and I just saw that on their show like today. Or yes, I think today. I think that's why I decided to hop on and let you guys know. I wasn't just cutting a promo when I said I'm the shit. You ain't on my level. I'm telling you. I'm telling the fans what they want to hear without an agenda. Because that's how I'm viewing wrestling right now. I don't have people writing me letters for content. I don't have people asking me questions. I just come on here and I start spouting off at the mouth. And then guess what? They all start talking about it. So either I'm ahead of the game, ahead of the curve, or someone is really liking the stuff that I'm talking about and they're bringing it to their shows because they feel as if their shows might be a little bit polished or they have a bigger audience or whatever. And that's possible. That is very possible. And I told you, we'll get there. We will get there at some point. But I have a real life. You know what I mean? I'm just getting into this as a hobby. And if I can build an audience now, then I'll spoil you guys with the better production. But I think it's pretty good right now. It's not terrible. Like I said before, I stand by the content. I'm trying to do something different, trying to make it more of a open form podcast. I don't want to stick to one topic. I don't want to stick to one format. Oh, I got something special coming for you guys in the next video or so, by the way. Remember that thing I was telling you about? My wife hates wrestling. Oh, I think we're going to watch a match tonight. I think we're going to do it. Ooh, it's going to be fun. Because she's pretty vocal and she really does not like wrestling. So I might have to actually edit out a few of her comments. Because she's not very politically correct. Neither am I, but I'm trying to be for these videos because I don't want to get in too much trouble. I don't want too much heat. I don't want you guys to think I'm like Russo, even though you think I sympathize with him when I just raise the question if he's as bad as everyone perceives him. Because I do think every company he's gone to has been corporate sabotage. And until someone proves me wrong, that's what it is. Just like I said when Off the Hop Rope they liked my podcast. Okay? As far as I'm concerned, I knew I heard their name before, and I wasn't exactly sure who they were. They're associated with the Major Wrestling Pod. So as far as I'm concerned, Matt Cardona and Brian Myers have heard my podcast. And that's awesome. I think they're very original. But that's the thing, too. They have their format. They talk about the stuff that they buy. They talk about the toys that they like. They'll throw in a couple of personal stories here and there, but they don't tell you stuff like what I tell you. You know what I mean? Because I want to know your stories like that. I want to know what connects you to wrestling. And that's what upsets me when I found out about a certain little slime ball. Oh, the only thing I can call him is a punk. It's like a little punky Brewster. A little goofy. That's all I can say. When I found out, I saw his little message that he wants to do a show quite similar to what I've been trying to do. It just really grinds my gears. It really does. It gets me aggravated because he's already well known. He's already been doing stuff for a while. He's got content already. And you're going to try to weasel in on some sort of niche that I know no one else is doing because I'm the first one who brought it to the table because that's what I wanted to hear. Nobody else has been doing this shit. No one. And I will cut a promo on every single one of you. Because if you don't believe me, go back and fucking listen to the tapes. I'm not going to say I'm the greatest thing going, but I'm definitely the first one to be doing what I'm doing now. trying to give you unique stuff, personalized perspectives. I already told you I'll do a top 10, but it's going to be like with a weird little quirky twist. It's not going to be like everyone else's top 10s. Because, yeah, I could get the clicks that way. But, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I don't want to be considered the same. I don't want to do that kind of thing. I'm different. Yeah, I like their content too. I'm not hating on any of them. I like all their content. I'm a fan of it. I watch it. But I'm not one of these people that like trolls the internet all day. And like I said, I got a life. I keep up on it. I watch the stuff I watch. I definitely pay close attention. I'm a fan. I'm not like a super mark. Not terribly. Like I think about it a lot because I love it, but I don't obsess over it. I'm very opinionated. And now, with the advent of the internet and the way everything's been blowing up, why not? Why isn't there a lane for me? But why would you try to come into my lane when you already had a lane? I didn't try to come and bump you off into obscurity. Back into obscurity. Me, I'm just starting out. I'm just finding my footing. And like I said, I think every episode gets better and better and better and better. I've been just messing around with thumbnails too. I just switched up 2 thumbnails. I'm going to try to do the rest of the other ones as much as I can. But trying to give you guys something to look at besides my face. I'm going to try to maybe get a little bit of video up. Maybe sync some video as I'm talking. Oh, I know, that's not different. I know. I'm sorry. But I'm talking about the content, not the presentation. I already told you I'm not heavy into the... I liked ECW, but their presentation was terrible until it got to the highlights. I'm not trying to be like that, but I'm trying to highlight my positives and accentuate my negatives. Yeah, I don't have a soundproof recording booth. You hear the cars on the Journeyman Highway, but guess what? That's what allows me to hitchhike ear canal to ear canal. It's exactly how I can do it. On that highway right there. That's what connects us, that Journeyman's Highway. And I'm not trying to sound corny. And I know I rant and I rave and I spurt off and I go off on all directions. But it's because it's raw and unfiltered and unbiased. I think I'd rather sit here, record something, get my thoughts out to you, rather than sit there and work on videos for months. Oh, I think I got those little marks calling me right now. See? I don't care. Somebody was just calling me about my auto warranty. They're going to leave that in their videos? No, because they're not real. Not as real as me. I told you I want to be the realest podcast. And I think I'm off to a start. People are already starting to pay attention. Go look at the blue checks, people. Go look at them. All different fields. Following your boy. Call it arrogant, call it confidence. You can call it whatever you'd like. But you're going to call it the truth. Because that's what it is. I'm over here. Yeah, I'm asking you, like, comment, subscribe. I'm not begging you. I'm not a Meltzer Mark. I don't need to do that. You want to listen to this content? That's fine. I appreciate it. I'd like to connect. I'd like to chat. I'd like to hear some of your stories. You don't like what I'm doing? Don't listen. Or hate listen. I don't give a shit. But maybe you'll like what I'm saying. Maybe we can have a conversation, and I can persuade you to at least let's meet in the middle. That's what I'm attempting. I'm not attempting to excuse me. I'm not attempting to get all what are the, money marks. I'm not asking for donations, not yet. Not until I start getting merchandise out. I'm kidding. I don't plan on that. If it happens naturally, of course I will, but it's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking to talk to the people in a somewhat raw, unbiased way. I'd say this is the perfect platform. Unless they start censoring me. But I don't think I'm saying anything too crazy. Well, maybe the thing about Nyla Rose. But I didn't even say anything negative. It's just my opinion. And it's not a political opinion. It's just because I'm stuck in my ways. Why don't you go back and try to find that one? There you go. I'll make you start doing some digging now. How about that? I'll make you start mining for the stuff I've been talking about days and a week, at least, ahead of these people. I'm not going to say they're copying. I'm not even going to say that great minds are thinking alike right now, but I'm just going to say mine predates it. Go ahead. Check if you think I'm crazy. Call me out on it. I've got nothing to hide, and like I said, I'll apologize if I'm wrong. But all the clips I've been seeing, I know the timestamp says an hour, 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. Mine says 3-4 days ago. So whatever. Think I'm nuts? Yeah, a lot of people do. It's okay. But I pay attention to certain things. And when I tag certain people or tag certain things or hashtag certain things, and then I notice there's only a few views, I only tagged a few people, and then I start hearing content that I'm talking about come up on other shows, which is whatever. I'm not saying I own the IP on conversation, but remember that whole video I had about anxiety? Well, every video I put out, I kind of have anxiety because I don't know who's gonna like it, or if I'm doing the right thing, or if people are just gonna think this is nothing but shit and I'm no good and I'm trying for nothing. Yeah, that's what happens. But I think I'm on the right path now. So the more confidence I build, and I'm already a pretty confident guy. You can say what you want. I'm not going to cut any promos on anybody, but that's because they can't touch me. They can't. I'm not going to gloat. I'm just going to tell you that this is the best content you're going to hear on any channel. And there's nothing any of them can do about it. Because they know I'm coming for them. They know I'm on their ass. And that's it. End of story. End of story. Now maybe if somebody wants to dispute the fact that I'm doing what I'm doing, well, I'm always up for open conversation. I tell you every video. I beat you to death with that fact. I beat you to death with it. Ooh. I'm getting a delivery, and I'm thinking, yes, it might be my wife's TikTok leggings, and I think it is. UPS guy looks like me with hair. Oh, he's coming up to the porch. Oh, he dropped it off. I think I'm getting a treat tonight. But I'm not going to give you any details, you pervs. You don't need to know none of that. Trying to get me fired up. Thinking about my wife. She's going to hate that I put this in. But she loves when I put it in also. Oh. You love it, people. You love it. You love it. You wanted more of my personality. Well, you're going to get it. But can you handle it? Whoa! Slow down, sons of arthritis. Old guy on his bike about to fly through a windshield. I hope not. I hope he makes it home safe, guys. I was just ribbing him. Maybe he'll break one on the impact. Oh, I'm kidding. That's mean-spirited, people. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I do believe in a sense of humor. I don't believe in certain things being funny. But we've got to laugh because we're only here once. There's no kick out. There's no nip up in the end. Do what you want to do. As long as you're not hurting anybody. Why not? I've said it before. Take that dive off the second story porch. Take the diamond cutter off the cage. Powerbomb your anxiety through a flaming table, ECW style. Jump off the fucking balcony a la New Jack. And hit your stress and anxiety and depression and fear with a fucking bionic elbow right in the temple. Because not for nothing, you can do it. I was nervous. I was scared when I started my company. I love when people say they start a business. No, you didn't start a business. You started a company within a business. So I started a company. And I got nervous. But it's been working out. And same with these videos. I mean, I know you can hear it, but in my other videos, most of my videos, pretty much all my videos, probably my future videos as well, they're all very low, monotone, quiet. Well, it's because everybody in my house is sleeping, Jack. I've already told you I didn't dedicate my life to being a YouTuber or a wrestling journalist or an insider. Even a podcaster. I had no aspirations of doing a podcast. Never. And then, you know, I've always been a fan of Opie and Anthony. I like Joe Rogan's podcast, not since he's moved to Spotify. I hate that. He doesn't have any of his good guests on anymore. It's all, he bent the knee. But I was inspired by him. Because he doesn't have a format. Opie and Anthony didn't have a format. I liked Jim and Sam for like the first year. And then they just got atrociously boring. I took inspiration from stuff like that. Shout out to Opie Radio. People hate him. I don't know why. I don't get it. He seems to be the only one who never really bashes any of them. I mean, that's another one too I was going to do a story about. Because I really wonder. Nobody ever gives detail. And so it's like, I wonder if it's really that terrible of a thing. Because let me tell you, I had a guy who was a best friend lie to someone who was my fiance at one point. Not my previous wife, but like really got into her ear and convinced her I was cheating. And then they ended up together for a few years. And that fucked me up bad. That fucked me up bad. I wanted to DDT this dude in the cement. But I left it alone. And I moved on. And then, when I met my wife, and we gotten pregnant, I needed a job. A better paying job. And so I went to a company where this guy worked at. And I had to shake his hand and pretend to be his friend. And I bit the bullet. And then something weird happened. We reconnected. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying it's the same dynamic. We're not super close like we used to be, but we're cordial. I'm in a different place now. He's in a different place. They're not together anymore. Him and I, we still chat, call each other up time to time. So, everything, I guess to an extent, unless Anthony made a pass at one of his nieces or something, but anything can be resolved. And I just wish I could tell him that, because I would like to interview him, because I'd like to know what happened with them, because when they went down, everything changed. Everything changed. So I'd like to know a little bit of the inside stuff. Maybe I'll do a video on that one day. A whole conversation on them. I know that has nothing to do with wrestling, but it does. Excuse me. Because they had all the wrestlers on their show. And that's how Sam got his job with the WWE, because he brought all the wrestling to the Opie and Anthony show. And that's how I was aware of Sam Roberts. And that's why I was a fan of Sam Roberts for such a long time. Now I just find him to be a shill for the WWE. And him and Jim make safe choices. They're not very risky. They're just bland. They try to live off the O&A brand, but most of those fans are gone now. And it's fine, whatever. I'm still a fan of everybody. I don't hate everybody. But it's much like wrestling. I need something to pull me back in. So now I'm trying to bring something like that to the podcast world / wrestling world / game plan for the family man. Because there might be times I'll ask you guys how to deal with a situation with a finicky baby. I mean, I'm a parent. I'm a father of 2. I mean, I have a pretty good idea. But, maybe I might need a different method because all my methods aren't working. So I'll ask you guys if there's any parents out there. That's the stuff we're trying to do, people. And we're growing. We're getting bigger. And I'll tell you what, you're definitely spoiled today because I got the high energy. I'm going one take today, no problem. I don't care. I'm not really cutting out any of the cars. Because if you hear it or not, I'll break through that fourth wall like the Shockmaster. I'm sure you hear like the cuts in a lot of my videos. It's not because I'm cutting anything out or anything like that. I am cutting it out. I'm cutting out a lot of the cars. Like a lot of it goes by and it's loud and I don't really want that much. I don't mind if you hear the cars when I'm talking, but when you hear like a lot of the bikes in the cars, I edited it all out. I cut it out. But that's about it. I don't edit anything else out. You probably should. Haha, man, you guys are funny. I probably should. I probably should edit a lot of it out, but it's not what I'm looking to do. I want you to see how it really is. I want you to know that it's possible. You can do it. Even if it's sloppy, even if it's not pristine presentation, you can do it. Anybody can do it. And actually, I'll make another comment speaking about anybody can do it. There's a lane for everybody. And there was this channel I tagged, and I won't put their name out there. But he direct messaged me, and he said he was going to delete me. And it's not the way to network, pal. Real condescending. And he gets a lot of views, and that's fine. So I told him, okay, I apologize. I'm sorry. I wasn't aware. I'm new to this. I've never done this before. But on principle, you can still delete me anyway. So, and why did I say that? Because when I got the message saying, well, that's not how you network, pal, that kind of set me off because, well, then how the fuck do you network? You could have easily said, hey, maybe next time, send me a message or a link or ask permission and then post. Something like that. What do you think, I'm going to steal all your fans? I had 2 fucking views. You're like, so what? What if I take a few of your fans? They'll come back if they're truly fans. So I don't see the issue with that. You want to post something on my page, a link to your podcast, or if you want to start a podcast and you don't have anybody to listen to it, Share it to me. I'll take a listen. Maybe we can even do a crossover one day. I don't care. I'm not going to like I said, I'm not going to block any of your comments or anything like that unless they're like truly vile and you're saying truly mean, hurtful, personal things. Because I'm not saying mean, hurtful, personal things. I'm just saying stuff as pertains to the wrestling business and the people in it. You want to talk, you want to disrespect me about the quality of my content, the sound of my stuff, how it comes out, that I'm fucking delusional, whatever, that's fine. But you don't have to be like, well, you know what I mean. You don't have to get nasty. I don't mind creative criticism. I don't mind a little bit of light trolling, but don't get fucking crazy. Because I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to, I know I talk about a lot of wrestling, like I do obsess about it. And I know I say I don't a lot because I don't truly obsess about it, but because I do love it and I have so many opinions and I have a lot of things that I've liked over the years about it, there's so much to talk about. So I might come off as a little mark, but I'm not a super mark. I like the Jim Cornette. I don't even watch every video from the What Cultures and the Cultaholics and the Wrestle Talks. I don't watch every video, but I'll watch one and I see a topic I like. I'm not a super mark like that, like I said. I just like this, and I like to talk about it. And I want to meet people who like to talk about it. And I know I'm going on and on and on today, but I told you I got the gift of gab. No one's here, so I can actually talk to you. I don't have to worry about being quiet. I'm not going to edit the cars out of this one today, so you're not going to hear any cuts. This is how we do. And I've been trying to tell you guys for a long time. Oh, there they go calling me again about my extended warranty. It's not. It's a customer of mine. Told you I gotta get back to work in a couple days. I think it's coming sooner than expected. And that's fine. I think that's why I'm giving you an extra long video this time. I don't know how often I'm going to be able to keep uploading. But I do get time off, spurts of time off. So on my spurts of time off, and if I can sneak some time in throughout the day, I'll be back. I just don't know if it'll be every day, every other day, like it's been. I've just been trying to get the name out there and get a few view marks to fall in line, but you haven't actually caught on to the greatness yet. It's alright though, because you will. You will. You'll see the greatness. I'm a lot like Brian Myers. You guys just think I'm a good worker. It's okay. Yeah, he's consistent with his work. It's not particularly great. But you're wrong, because secretly, I'm hitting them fucking weights. And I'm coming back jacked, baby. And I'm going to start taking over. I'm going to get meaner. I'm going to get more aggressive. And then I'm going to become the world champion. I already told you I wouldn't say nothing to these people I wouldn't say to their faces. So if I start cutting promos, you better believe it's because there ain't nothing I'm fearing about any of them. And I'm not saying like I'm a big guy. I won't say shit to Brock. No thank you. I know my limits. Well, I'll still tell him to go fuck himself if the situation called for it. Like if he was like just being like a dick, or if he was threatening me and my family, well then I'd have a way to handle him if that was the case. But that's a different story. I wouldn't intentionally start problems with these people, but I wouldn't back down, is what I'm trying to say. So the whole I'm a scary big wrestler doesn't actually intimidate me. You know what I mean? So it might be a problem, but whatever. We'll get into it. You know, we have plenty of time. I think you guys are starting to get to know me now. You probably think I'm fucking batshit crazy, and that's okay too, because isn't that entertaining? Don't you like car wrecks? I wouldn't say I'm so much as a car wreck, but car wreck entertainment. You guys love it. One way or another, you will respect me.